Pressure, I think, on the party to go in a younger direction. You know, you're a young person again. I'll point out. What do you think Democrats should do to recapture?
Listen to this baby. If this nigga shut up.
That's a good question. I think part of it is economics. You got to speak to people's economic material reality. You got a whole host of people in this country who can't meet a $600 emergency payment. A majority of the country. It's an incredible statistic when you really think about where people are at and what that means with where people are at. If we had a candidate that spoke to people's material reality, spoke to the fact that Americans don't feel like the government is working for them in any capacity, they don't feel like they're being listened to, they feel like when a train derails in East Palestine that nobody actually is there to address the chemicals in the water or even to hold the company accountable. I think people want authenticity and they want somebody who's going to speak to a corporate captured government in a serious way and start talking about a public sector that will be truly public again. I don't know if that person is there in the Democratic Party right now.
He's sitting right there. We looking at him.
That's what the primary is for.
That leads me to the next question, Representative Wheeler. Could you talk about who you see as the leader? Who do you look
Listen to this baby.
You know, you came in here very young.
Listen to him.
You've put more than 24 bills through. You've been working hard for the working class, as you just mentioned. Who's the leader that you look to?
What?
Well, I look to all the people out in the streets who are constantly, helping one another, who are doing whatever they can in a moment where there is very little to do here. I don't think there is a political leader here in this moment. I think you'll find one from the ash heap that is the Democratic Party right now, a phoenix.
You the phoenix.
From the ashes, as they always do. But right now, I don't know if there is a Democratic leader. I think that the Democratic Party is in an unorganized moment where they are trapped between two sides that are completely opposing. You can't, on one hand, take money from private prison industry, the finance industry, the defense contracting industry, and on the other hand, talk as if you're some kind of progressive champion. It doesn't, those two things don't compute. And so the Democratic Party right now is having to find itself in a moment where you've got one hand that's, we got to get these dollars, we got to support these donors, and then the other hand, which is trying to say that we got to support the people and the constituents. So I think the Democrats, they have to figure out how they're going to. Democrats largely have their eyes wide shut, is like what I like to say. And I think that they have to find out how they're going to square.
That's the leader right there. That's the leader right there. Jonah Wheeler. Go ahead, baby. That is